Hi everybody. Let me bring this up a little bit. So this is a little I'm sorry. This is a little bit different than usual. Wow. Sorry. Um, I was recommended to go ahead and do this by a new acquaintance that I have just recently met, and they were interested in finding out how I do my nail art. So I'm gonna show you, and also I'm sorry. There is one thing. I I I oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm trying to calm myself down enough to say it out loud. Okay, so So basically, when I hyper focus, I can I can sorry. I hyper focus and it's almost stops my tics when it's happening, but it's mostly because I'm not talking and I'm 100% focusing on what I'm doing. So, real quick, just wanted to give you a little quick rundown on that. You're probably not gonna see much of my face for the rest of this, but I just want to show you what I do and how I fix up my nails for nail art, starting from beginning to end. Okay. So here we are. This is my nail table, and basically I have metal templates. So these are like stencils that have a very shallow tracing to give you big details. So I of course am doing stuff for Christmas right now. I did this one last night. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of hard for me to bend my hand that way, but it's Olaf from Frozen. I actually got that off of this template. I don't know if you can even see it because of the glare. Wow. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of catch. I don't know if you can see it, but basically, it's Olaf here in the top corner that I was able to use on my nail. So this time I wanted to mix it up a little bit and do something just a tad bit different. So I actually have a great love for all of my 80s and 90s movies, and I don't know if you guys remember the movie Gremlins, but this is the Mogwai, who is also known as Gizmo in the movie. So I wanted to take him and pick him up today and add my colors to him as well, and also to do a background for him. There was these cute Christmas lights, or even just snowflakes in the background. So I'm trying to decide on which one I want to go for, but I do want to make each nail a little bit different. So I might end up doing possibly the Christmas lights instead of the snowflakes, and saving the snowflakes for something else, like maybe Jack from, can you see Jack right there? I don't know if you can see him. I have a whole plate on him as well. And this one's really nice too because it actually has a great detail with him, with the village in the background, and there's just snow dropping everywhere, which is really cute. So that's from A Nightmare Before Christmas, and then which other one? And then, like I said, I also have Dr. Seuss The Grinch, which I do want to also do one of those. So, but today I am just gonna do and focus on one of them only for this video. So, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and skip Dr. Seuss, and we're gonna go to our little Gizmo, our Mogwai. So we're gonna go ahead and pick him up. I'm gonna pause this to get everything ready. That way this doesn't take forever. Okay, so I had to pull out my polish case, which contains all my different nail polishes. These nail polishes are specifically designed just for stamping. The ones that I'm using today are Born Pretty nail stamping polishes. So these basically have a much darker pigment. So I'm going to start off with black because I basically just want to pick up the stencil, just the outline, and then everything else I'll use to color it in. And basically I will be using it like in a variety of different things. I have blotting tools and I also have paintbrushes. So it depends on, you know, how small the detailing is. It will depend on how. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the polish and I'm brushing it right over my stencil. Now I'm going to get a card just to scrape the over extra amount of polish. And as I go scraping, I'm going to do it in like a couple of different positions and then do a rolling stamp pickup. Now rolling stamp pickup basically does that. It picks up that thing, and if you look through this, you could actually see my little character in there. Now, I'm going to pay attention to see if I got all the details that I wanted on here, and to make sure it got my little Gizmo and all his details are there. Anything that would be missing on the print would be missing on the thing, but no, everything actually looks like I picked it all up. Alright, perfect. So once I've examined it and I've seen that it is what the actual trace is off of my plate, any excess paint that I do have, look at how I clear up when I'm talking. Any excess paint that I do have, whoa! Oh crap, it was because I mentioned it. Any excess paint that I do have, I try to scrape it back inside because this stuff is really expensive. So what I do is I take my stamp and I set it off to the side. I do have cotton swabs and this really great tool, because what I'm going to do next is going to require me taking a chemical that's very, very harsh on the skin. It is 100% pure acetone is what I use. That's in my little pump bottle. I keep it in a pump bottle to safely keep it there and that it doesn't fall everywhere else. This stuff is so strong. Like, this is a very dark pigmented color. Look what it does. It instantly removes it, but also dries out my skin instantly, which is why I use this little tool to pick up with my cotton ball or my cotton swab, and I use it to clean off all the excess paint off of my plate. It leaves it super clean. I take this and I set it off to the side. Really off to the side, sorry. Okay, so here's my little trick. I take a little tape and I use that tape. I know it seems really weird, but when I pick up, I end up picking up extra things that come all the way around. I don't want all this other stuff on my nail. So I'm just going to gently take the tape and press on it, and it picks up all the print that I don't want, and it sticks to that tape. Excuse the noise in the back. It's my husband's day off, so he's looking after the kids. I don't know if you could see that. So basically from here, I put my plate to the side and I give myself some space, and I go ahead and I accumulate what colors I want. So for his little hat, he's going to need white, and he's going to need red, and all I'm going to do is basically take my nail polish, and I have a mat. It's a silicone mat, so nothing sticks to it, and anything that does, it's easily wiped off. No harm, no foul, and you know, no fuss, no fuss. Alright, so sorry, I have to shake up my nail polish real quick. I'm just gonna dab a little bit. So once again, I'm not wasting my product. And I'm going to take, this is a dabbing tool. This has little tiny tips to it, and it helps me to go ahead and pinpoint where I'm going to place it. So now I'm going to do the tip of the hat, and I'm also going to do the base of the hat, which is all going to be white. And I basically just pick up a little droplet of that white polish, and kind of just spread it out. And you have to be really careful with this, because if you touch it too much and the polish starts to dry, that's where it becomes a huge problem, and it can actually pick up the whole trace, and you don't want that. So from the inside, if you look at it, you can kind of see, let's see if I can clear that up for you. You can see the little hat part. So we're going to go ahead and quickly squeeze over to our red. And actually, while I'm here, while I'm doing the white, if he does have a white in his eyes, I will definitely be blotting just like a little dot to give that little white in the eye. And once again, just be very, very careful to make sure that it's not dry and I don't want to pick up my trace. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and use my other side. Actually, this is the side. And I'm just going to add the red. Now, even if you overlap over the other cover that you just laid, it doesn't matter, because this side is the back side. This is what's going to be on against your nail. So whatever happens here, it's not a huge deal. But let's see if you can see what I've done so far. See the red in his hat and the white. There we go. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to pause it here to make this a little quicker. Okay, so here I went ahead and mixed a darker pink with a light white to get the inside of the ears. Just make sure that pink is really wet. If it's not, oh my god, it will pick up your trace, and you definitely don't want that. Okay, so we got the pink on the ears, which comes out looking like this so far. Okay, so my little Mogwai has tan around his eyes. And his little mouth and nose are all tan. And so are his fingers and his toes. A slight mistake, like I overlap with the paint, I try to smear it up a little bit with my fingers the best that I can. Okay, I think I got the majority of his fingers and everything. Okay. So now it's to put in the colors of his fur, and basically the colors of his fur, it's the majority of it's white and the rest of it is a dark brown. So I do have my brown here and I have my white here. So we're going to go ahead and fill him in the rest of the way. Before I do, I'm just going to clean off my little dabbing tool, make sure that I wipe up any excess so I don't accidentally pick up the wrong color. Alright, so like I said, the majority of him, he is white. So we're going to go ahead and just dab a little white down there and try to knock out all the white spots first. pull out our dark brown. Same thing. I'm going to show you the end result. So I'm going to turn this around, just add my dark brown to my other areas. Need to get my color back and just dabble that through the tips of the ears. Very small, so switch over. Okay, so from this side, it looks like a mosaic because it's just like smeared colors all over. But when you spin this around, you got Gizmo looking all cute. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to transfer little Gizmo onto the fingernail. We're going to let little guy dry up first, and once he does, we're going to go ahead and get started with applying him. So in the meantime, what I like to do to keep him protected, and he will still dry, I blow on him a little bit, and then the rest I just very safely, gently place that cap right over it. Do not apply pressure because you do not want to accidentally like fill that up. So the next step is to go ahead, clean up our area, because we just don't want to make a huge mess for no reason. We always want to work with a nice clean space. For me, cleanliness is godliness, and it does help you have a little bit of more clarity on what you do in your day and everything. So it's something that helps me out. Okay, this is basically tarnished. We're going to toss that into our trash. We're going to go ahead and put in a brand new cotton ball swab. Just pre-pump that with some acetone, and we're going to go ahead and work on what I wanted to do for the background. I wanted something a little bit different. Now he does have a lot of color in him, but it's a lot of browns and tans, so I figure maybe do a nice background for him. So that's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and do a really, really nice background for him. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is perfect because it's just going to be the outline. We're going to once again start with our black. Give it a good shake. Go ahead and paint it over the image. This is so much fun. For me, this is so much fun for me. Let me clarify. It's not fun for everybody. Okay, so I go ahead, take my scraper, scrape, try to get as much of the excess off, and then just do one quick roll and pick up. Now for any reason, if I don't like this, I could always take that tape, remove it, and replace it. And honestly, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna clean this off, and we're gonna start over again. Okay, Okay, so when I don't like something, like I said, I take a piece of tape because I don't want to damage my stamper. The stampers are very delicate, and if you don't properly clean them off the way you need to, you can actually remove that sticky layer that it has to it, as well as the shine. Now this one, actually this is the reason why this isn't working for me. I don't know if you can notice, but there are, yep, some indentations. So this one was actually damaged. And this is why you want to double check your stampers, make sure that the jellies are good. If they're not, put them away or throw them away, or if you could get just the replacement jellies, go for that. But see, this is a brand new one, nice and clean and clear. This should give me a better trace. Now sometimes when I have extra polish left over, if it's still really fresh and wet still, I might be able to get away with a trace, maybe, but not always. It picked up half of it because it dried up. So this is just a good example of showing you troubleshooting with this. And basically the troubleshooting is go ahead and lay on a fresh layer of paint, because obviously the paint that you had on there is too dry to be able to use again. And I like to use all sides. No waste. Go ahead and clean off our card. Make sure clean swipes every time. Alright. So let's try this again. Oh, and always remember to clean up your stamper before you get started, because you don't want that new paint that you just laid down to dry on you. Shape. Get some fresh paint on. See, on the first time it got messed up because my stamper was damaged. Now, hopefully we have better luck with this newer stamper. It's not so damaged. Check that out. Clean lines, you can see everything. Alrighty, so now we have our Christmas lights and we have to paint them. But before we do, remember what I said. Always save if you can. And once again, this paint is expensive. Don't believe me? Go shop for it. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and clean off our plate, and we're going to try to set it off to the side so it's out of our way. And anything that I don't properly clean off now, I could always clean off later, so there's no worries. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a new cotton swab. There we go. Off our knife a little bit. And my fingers, because I got black paint. Okay, so now remember what I said. When there's something on our stamper that we do not want, that we don't want to pick up on our nails, we just take a piece of tape and we remove it. So right here I have a little extra of another image that got picked up by accident. So here we go. We got our lights, and now we just need to color them in. And this is really simple because it's basically just dot, dot, dot into the little circles. So when you're dealing with something as simple as like little dots, it's really, really simple when you're doing it. So just get your color base out. And you know, you always want to color coordinate. So we're going to get our yellows,